The business world is a very, what's for want of a better word, topsy-turvy. How we started out on a bumpy road. Who would have? Well, I'm not surprised. You started us on a very bumpy road yesterday. So here we are now with this one. What we're looking at, brand clashing, a consumer being arrested over a review on Facebook. So I'd like you to talk us through the story and the other adjoining issues relating to this.
Yeah, it's a wild story. I saw it on Twitter yesterday, and I actually thought it was a publicity stunt. So I ignored it until the Federal Consumer, that name is so long, FCCPC something.
Yes.
Yeah, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. Gosh, what a mouthful, man. FCCPC got involved. That's what I now knew. Oh, this thing is actually real. So a lady went on Facebook and gave a review of a product, a tomato product. She said that it had too much sugar in it, and so therefore it wasn't safe. And she posted it on Facebook. The company now responded to her. They now put out a whole statement. Wait, and I think I shared the.
I've seen, yeah, you shared with me from the company. I've seen them here. It was they came with a sledgehammer. They weren't joking at all.
Wasn't joking, no. They said the official statement in response to a Facebook publication, one of the products of one of our products, full long one page. They said normally we would have ignored it, but they suspect it's a malicious attack from their competition or something. And next thing you know, I'm reading on Twitter that they had the woman arrested. They had her arrested for the post. So then, I'm like, all right, this is a publicity stunt. It says, somebody got an influencer to come on Twitter to tag them. And it's not only for Mr. Babatunde Irukera, who is the head of the FCCPC. He now sent out a tweet, said, this has come to our attention. The FCCPC is engaged. We saw a statement and deepening learning of the circumstances right now. We have a team seeking to clarify the arrest and detention status of the subject, and we're activating regulatory process to secure an explanation from this company, this food company. He then sent another tweet, updates. Our operatives have confirmed the arrest and transfer of the case to Abuja by the police force. The lady was no longer at the station on arrival. We are working to determine the exact current location and engaging the Force HQ headquarters in Abuja. A summons has been issued to the company immediately. So that's the last we heard. That was the last tweet that he sent on the matter.
Okay, Rotus.
Crazy. That is crazy.
But much as it is crazy, but let's begin to look at the substance of what has happened. You get a product. The company in question has a consumer department you can call. At least it should be written on the body, but not take. So they felt just running straight to Facebook, to the social media with their product like that in itself. That you would say, is it good for business? Is that a first way to react?
Yeah, but there's free speech now, mass. Anybody, if I don't like a product, I can go on social media and tell people that I tried something and. Anybody can say what they want about any products that they wish. She bought it with her own money. So once you buy, it's like paying for a ticket to go and see a team perform, and you boo their performance because you don't like how they perform. I mean, once you buy that product, I believe that you have every right to review it as you want. There's so many takeaways from this: the power of social media, the insecurity of companies, the inability, the sensitivity of companies in Nigeria. Remember, Sterling Bank got into some trouble. What was it, a few years ago, when their social media team went after the other banks, and apparently somebody got arrested there, and there was all these issues. I don't know why Nigerian companies are so overly sensitive when it comes to, look, did you see that post from Domino's Pizza yesterday on Chelsea? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Let me share it with you. Let me, where is it? Do I have it? I'm gonna share it with you now. I took it yesterday. Basically, Domino's Pizza, they mocked Chelsea. Chelsea hasn't scored a goal since August or something, right? So okay, here it is. I found it. Let me forward it to you so you can read it to the. If you have you've had Tega on and you see Chelsea has been struggling, so you can read the tweets to everybody if you want.
Okay, so the tweet forwarded here. We've delivered about 852,609 pizzas since Chelsea last scored a goal. And that's
Right.
what the tweet is saying.
So I mean, that tweet has, as of yesterday, it had 4.6 million views. I'm sure by now, if I go and check, it's over 5 million.
And for the records, it's in the UK. So please, just before they come for Rotus, it's right. In the UK. It's in the UK company.
Right. You've seen Pepsi and Coke go after each other. There was even, I mean, companies there are fine with that. They are fine with yabbing each other and, you know, they're okay doing that stuff. They seem but here, I don't know, there's this extra sensitivity about, I don't know why.
There was one I saw that I felt they were this soft drink and beverage company. I thought it was going to be fight for finish. When a young man was going to buy one and then put his coin in, it came out, used that as a stool to go. Yeah. That was the secret. That was this brand go at each other. So yet they just keep moving on.
They move on. It's advertising. It's, you know, and I feel like, so, you know, I think beyond the sensitivity, I think social media now, because I haven't been on Facebook in a while. I don't even, you know, I think Facebook has turned into a place for conspiracy theorists and so on and so forth. But it's apparently still, well, it looks like it still has a large enough audience to where a brand can, it's stunning. It's a stunning story. And I actually reached out to Mr. Irukera. He's not around. I'm trying to see if I can, you know, speak to him and get further information. But yes, it's a mind-boggling story.
Okay, so let's quickly get out to the clients this morning to let them know they can be part of this conversation if they send in WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981. I see a few already pop in already. 0809-444-0981. What say you about the power of branding and social media? Is social media becoming a threat or checking the services being rendered by brands out there this morning? We'd like to know from you. So Rotus, from what we see, the legal perspective right now, you feel the woman's right has been violated. But the company is also an entity according to the eyes of the law.
It is. And, you know, but look, they're an entity, fine. But I think another thing I forgot to bring up, we need to talk about the police in this country, right? In Omas, rather you are, Inspector Omas or Sergeant Omas, and you're at a police office and police officer, and then I come to you and I say, Omas, I want to get somebody arrested. And you say, Rotus, why do you want to get this person arrested? I said, they posted something malicious about me on Facebook. There was another tweet that he had. I even need to share it with you. Where this is Mr. Irukera, the head of the FCCP, where he said something needs to be said about how mean Nigerians are to each other. Basically, that's So here it is. No, where is it? Yeah, okay. He says, okay, let me share this tweet with you. How we mobilize the police against each other, and how the police in Nigeria are so driven by, I don't know whether it is money or what, where they can be used and manipulated by Nigerians to oppress other people. So yeah, here I've shared the tweet with you now. Somebody sent a tweet saying, you know, it's worthy of note is how the citizens themselves use the police as a tool of oppression. And then Mr. Irukera responded and said, this for me is the key learning. We are abusive and excessive towards each other. The people in government and police are picked from this pool of us all. It's troubling. That's another troubling angle to this. How can a police officer, somebody came and said they posted something on me about Facebook, and you go in there and you arrest the person? Maybe they gave them money or I don't know what, but it's that is another troubling angle. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but that was really, that bothered me.
Well, I feel, let's look at when brands produce products like this, the tomato paste, it is also law for you to state out some of the ingredients that the product contains. So where this woman had she's gone ahead to say she's had some elements of sugar in it, and she's mentioned it. What really should be the first response of the customer complaint department of this company in the first place? What's the
Omatseye was in the statement. I thought it would begin and end with the statement they put out. They put out a statement. They said, normally we would ignore this. Our products are fine. This is a malicious attack. You put out this. That is what, like, I've talked to a lot of young people who want to go into public relations, right?
Yes.
And I tell them that, listen, if you want to practice being a good public relations officer, Nigeria has so many things for you to practice with. So this is a public service announcement for any young person listening to this, or parents who wants to go into public relations. When news like this comes up, pretend like you work for the company and write a press release to respond to this lady. So anytime you see something that happens that involves the brand or involves the reputation of a company, practice, write what your response will be. Pretend like you work for the company and pretend like you're going to write a press release. So what would you have written? So that's why I thought it would begin and it would end at the press release. So to answer your question, it's just supposed to be put out a press release, tell people that our products are fine, we don't have sugar inside them, they are perfect, and even use it as in fact, you use it as an advertising moment where you say, no, you just sell your market, our brand is great, we ignore people, and then use it as a moment to boost your brand. But to go further and arrest, wow. Anyway, look, Nigeria, another thing, if another angle is how tough the economy is. Business is hard. Businesses are closing down.
And that's a local brand.
Yeah,
and the times that you mentioned it already, you said it's a local brand, and you know what it is, keeping this local brand to stay. So they're doing everything to make sure they protect their brand integrity.
This lady, once we hear from her, she has to, I don't know if there are any lawyers out there that will take her case for free, but she needs to sue this company to the high hills. I think her right, I'm not a lawyer, and you already put out, perhaps you put out some good points in her Facebook post, but no matter what she said, I don't know how this justifies getting somebody arrested over a Facebook post, and I think she should sue them to the high heavens whenever we hear from her and whenever she's found, because this was really wild.
A few messages are here already, and so let's get to them. Peter from Festac leaves us with this message saying that good morning. Okay, somebody reviews the product she bought with money, and boom, the company uses money to secretly arrest the Nigerian. What a country. And then it mentions the brand's name, and then let's go with Tayo. Tayo comes in. Some companies would rather bend to mediocrity than face objective criticism. It is really shameful and poor branding from the company. Brand wars can help with competition, like you said, the world over, but not here. It's an attack from the opposition. Nigerian police have abused the privilege of investigation because anything they see is criminal before their eyes. And Chubike Roy Agu comes up with this one. I'm deeply saddened by the Facebook incident, but I'm not in the least bit surprised that a Nigerian company would be that sensitive to their being critiqued. It is the same spirit that governs the thinking of your employer as your God. That's the spirit behind this kind of thinking. Nigeria's primary problem is the absence of a culture of accountability across board. This isn't about government leaders alone. Jonah comes up with a message for us here, and he says, while I believe that the PR department of the company should have handled this better, like Rotus has chimed in already, consumers must also realize they must use social media responsibly. Such a review from the customer on FB, Facebook, was so subjective that it would be hard to justify the critical review and brand damage. Social media is so powerful, and users must understand that whatever they do affects brands seriously. More still pouring in. Babatunde Alao comes in. Rotus, that act is a reputational dent. It may badly impact their brand as much as you have right to post anything on social media. Note that brand damage and dent is a crime. The woman has no single right to damage anybody's brand. Yes, she can sue for being injured upon the consumption of a product. Babatunde Alao. And one more message here.
Babatunde needs to quote that crime for me. I need to know where it is in the law that says I can go brand damage. Let me hear that law. What are you going to
George Kobani, our final message here. That's if Yinka Abulu does not begin to type at this point, but let's get this one in. I love what Rotus said about public relations strategy. And it goes on, Omas, the company totally mismanaged this opportunity, but they can still salvage the situation by backtracking, apologizing, and making a fan of their product. That's George Kobani. Any final word, Rotus, as we close up this morning?
Look, social media is powerful. Please allow free speech, and Nigerian police need to do better. They really do need to do better. This is just disturbing.
Parting short, rather than go to just go and use on Facebook, why not send a complaint to the FCCPC?
You can do that, but I think. Yeah, exactly. Look, Momas, you're right. There's many options here that could have been taken, but I just think the most extreme option, the most extreme response is what really bothers me. I think could have just ended at the statement. But yeah, if you want to complain about a product, but you also, other people have a right. If you buy a product, Momas, and you find out a problem, I would appreciate you telling me about it, right? You can quietly go to the company and complain, but what if I buy the product? You'll be like, Rotus, come, I just bought this thing, there's too much sugar inside, or you might want to be careful. I would appreciate you letting me know. So that's what she was doing. So plenty angles, there's plenty angles to it. I'm waiting for the latest update, and I hope she's safe, because nobody knows where she is now. So we need to find out.
Rotus, when you brought up that story on the roads yesterday, I knew my week was going to be a bumpy one. Here we are. Who knows what's going to come up for business tomorrow? But honestly, thank you as always for your time on the show.
Thanks, Omas, and thank you for everybody for sending messages.
Have a great morning. Bye. And that's a wrap on Business Express on Smooth 98.1 FM. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning. This is Gallery.